Hey guys, what's up? This is Diego here at Cinemageddon Reviews. So, I'm taking a break from my Spider-Man series of reviews because this past weekend I just saw Dune, the brand new adaptation of the sci-fi novel, which is available in theaters and on HBO Max. But this is also a review where I get to tell you guys if it's worth seeing in theaters with the risks of the pandemic. So without further ado, welcome to another edition of Stories from the Wasteland. So this remake of Dune was directed by Denis Villeneuve, the man behind such amazing films as Enemy, Prisoners, Sicario, and Blade Runner 2049, and other films like Arrival. Timothée Chalamet plays Paul Atreides, the son of a powerful duke born with special abilities who is tasked with protecting the most valuable resource in the universe from dangerous people. Along the way, he sees visions of a mysterious young girl played by Zendaya, and must soon find out how he fits into the prophetic puzzle of the war for the planet Arrakis. So full disclosure, I didn't see the original David Lynch version of the movie Dune. I didn't read the original novel. I had absolutely no knowledge of this film beyond what was in the trailers, so I went into this one with very low expectations. Based on what I saw in the trailers, the movie looked very different from what you would expect in your typical Denis Villeneuve film. It was marketed as something a lot faster, a lot more action-heavy. And after seeing this movie, I can say I did love it, though maybe not for the reasons I expected to. Dune was such a beautiful, incredible sci-fi movie, maybe one of the best this century. And no, I'm not exaggerating, few sci-fi movies this century have been this good. I was actually very surprised to feel this way after the end of the film. Denis Villeneuve once again proves how great of a director he is. The man has a keen eye for scale. The way he directs the camera and the cinematography to make things look larger than life makes the movies he makes so visually immersive. Your eyes are honestly glued to the screen from minute one. The cinematography and the use of color is spectacular, the production design and the costume design is immaculate, the planets and the cities and the clothing that we see in the film truly feel like different cultures, different places in the universe. They don't just feel like really pretty locations in a sci-fi movie, they feel like you've really been transported to a different place. One thing that really adds to that is the use of visual effects, which was gorgeous. It was one of my favorite parts of the film. Something about the cinematography combined with the design of the ships and the way these things interact with their environments, you never question whether or not these things are real. I think one of the things that adds to this is the fact that the book, from what I understand, is very rich in lore. There's a lot of politics-rich backstories with the characters and the locations. But the film actually does a really good job with its pacing and the way it establishes the sort of status quo in the world and making sure that you, the audience member, understands everything that's going on with these characters and why certain people are enemies with each other. I was actually really pleasantly surprised to find myself invested in the story 100% from minute one. Now, as I said before, there were some things about Dune that I was expecting to happen differently. For example, the action set pieces, the way some of the characters are used, and the story, it seemed a little bit more complete from what it looked like in the trailers. Zendaya's character does almost nothing in this movie, and we focus a lot more on Stellan Skarsgård's character and what he's after, a lot more than I expected. In fact, most of the movie goes back and forth between House Atreides and House Harkonnen. And because of the rich politics of the film, this is where most of the tension lies for about the first half of the film. So the movie overall moves a little slower than you might expect, and the action scenes are a lot more spaced out. But although they are fewer than I expected, I still enjoyed them a lot. The characters in the film use this force field, like, on their bodies, that must have been so difficult to animate in sync with the choreography, which is very elaborate and fast. But it looked great, and it was really well done. So minor spoilers for the film, the ending I felt was a lot less climactic than I would have liked. I do understand why. This movie is only supposed to cover about the first half of the book, but I guess my one minor gripe about the film is that maybe they should have found a workaround for that ending so that you would feel a little more complete. That being said, Dune is still well worth the watch. It's a beautifully shot, well-directed sci-fi film with some incredible visuals and some really great performances all around, and despite its disappointing ending, it does leave you wanting more. But fortunately, they've already announced Dune Part 2, so I can't wait to see the rest of the story. One thing's for sure, they better stick the landing with this next film, because otherwise, it's going to kind of ruin this first one. And with that said, my rating for Dune is 9.5 out of 10. So is Dune worth seeing in theaters amidst the coronavirus pandemic? Yes, absolutely. I was actually so impressed with the cinematography and the visual effects that I am considering seeing it a second time in theaters. It was a gorgeous, gorgeous film, and I think everybody should go see it, so please do. Just be safe out there. The coronavirus is still going to be here a while, so be sure to wear a mask and follow social distancing. If you've already seen Dune, I'm curious to know what your thoughts are. Do you like it or do you hate it? Are you looking forward to the sequel? And what's your favorite film by Denis Villeneuve? Mine isn't Arrival. As always, be sure to like this video and subscribe, follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and please support our Patreon, we really appreciate that. Thank you guys so much for watching. This is Diego for Cinemageddon Reviews, and I'll see you on the Wasteland.